I think Paul Keating needs either a cup of tea or a Bex and a good lie down. The former PM, who must now be a fully fledged member of Malcolm Turnbull's mob of miserable old ghosts, is still blowing up about Australia's nuclear sub deal with the US and the UK. Talk about being on an island. This is the historic deal where we're getting nuclear-powered subs to counter China's unprecedented aggression in the Indo-Pacific. Paul Keating says Scott Morrison has led Australia away from the Asian century and back towards a jaded and faded Anglo-sphere. Has he noticed at all that China has changed dramatically in the space of 5 years? Dramatically. But here we go. Anglo nations aren't allowed to be partners anymore, you see, because we're predominantly white, I guess. So remaining strong allies with the US and the UK means you're pandering to an Anglo-sphere. I didn't see Paul Keating severing ties with Anglo world leaders when he was Prime Minister. And I remember Keating with Clinton being very chummy during Mr Keating's White House visit in 1993. Look it up. But now when we strengthen our ties with our oldest allies, we're in a jaded and faded Anglo-sphere. Paul Keating is also slamming his own party, the ALP, for their bipartisan support of the plan. I'm sorry, Labor's reaction to that pact has been one of the rare moments of sanity from the ALP. He says Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong has, by her muted complicity with the government's foreign policy and posture, neutered Labor's traditional stance as to Australia's right to strategic autonomy. So Labor's traditional stance is all okay, but not Australia's traditional stance with our long-term allies. Paul Keating's statement didn't stop there. He went on saying China presents no military threat to Australia. What is this bloke snorting? Beijing has been hitting us with tariffs and ruining entire export industries just because we pushed for an inquest into the origins of COVID to avoid another pandemic. Their behaviour has turned so erratic. The US has decided to share knowledge of nuclear subs with us. When was the last time they did that? Well, that was in 1958 with the UK. Do you think those two powerhouse nations would help us build nuclear subs if the Chinese threat wasn't real? The US may very well have to defend Taiwan. We, like we've done in every theatre of war, will be alongside the US. That makes us a threat, Paul Keating. He's entitled to his opinion. But on the issue of China, I think he should keep it to himself. Paul has huge bias in this sphere. He used to be a member of the International Advisory Board on China's Development Bank. And like other Labor identities, Bob Carr, Bob Hawke, they've made careers out of their Chinese contacts, which is great, fine, but don't start preaching to us about picking sides. China has changed dramatically. When it comes to Keating, all roads lead to China. And it was China, not Australia, Paul, who started the fight.